I've been working on my ranking of every Helluva Boss episode, which led me to rewatch Springbroken, and every time I watch this episode, I get confused by human disguises. Seriously, what are the rules behind them? Why does an office worker who's never been to Earth get one, while assassins who regularly visit the human world don't? At first I just wrote it off as a strange ability that hellhounds simply have, but in the same episode, we also saw that Sakyu and Incubi have this ability. Well, fair enough, guess they do need it. And then Stolas has one, but it seems like he needs it for part of his job, and Blitz's sister Barbie Wire has one. And then there's the Infestor demon in that god-awful Scooby-Doo story. All of this was starting to get very strange. It's getting quite hard to say. These few types of demons are just able to do that if, whenever we see a demon in the human world, they too have a disguise. And even within a single species, it tends to be rather inconsistent. The Imps, who are Imps, don't have one, while Barbie Wire, who is also an Imp, does. Stolas has one, but his daughter doesn't. Well, is it everyone who needs it? Succubi, Stolas, Tex, who is Verosika's bodyguard, etc.? Well, also no. Loona has one for seemingly no reason. I've spent more time thinking about it than I'm willing to admit. Gotta be honest, gave up and cried about it on Reddit, where I then got 50 comments in a day, mostly by equally confused people, which did make me feel better, and even though a lot of them contradicted themselves, I'm pretty sure that I finally figured out how it works. And I promise you, it is as simple as it is confusing. In episode 3, we are first introduced to the concept of human disguises. Loona nonchalantly tells everyone that she has one, expecting them to know.
I can blend in.
Do you have a human disguise?
Yeah, don't you?
They did not know, and then she gets surprised by the fact that the Imps don't have one. Because of this scene alone, we can pretty much rule out that it is an ability a species is just born with. The Imps are all shocked that a Hellhound is capable of this, while the Hellhound is surprised that the Imps aren't. We get confirmation that this isn't just a misunderstanding between species. When in Unhappy Campers, we first see an Imp with a human disguise. They are capable of getting one. A fairly popular fan theory states that it is another power of the Asmodean crystals. The Succubi have them as well as disguises, and the effect when Barbie Wire transforms somewhat resembles the portal she creates with her crystal. But the disguise being related to this seems increasingly unlikely. Blitz isn't able to transform even though he has a crystal, while Stolas and Loona are able to, but they don't have one. So the best theory at this point would still be only those who need a human disguise have one, but that still doesn't explain how anyone got it or why Loona has it. If you have another theory, comment it down below, and if you are enjoying the video so far, please leave a like and sub. Then, one comment reminded me of the dialogue in Seeing Stars, right after Stolas and Loona transform.
No chance you can conjure us a couple of those, can you?
Sadly, no. I'm afraid without my grimoire, my powers are just a tad limited in the human world.
What, you can't memorize your fucking spells?
Okay, so thanks to Stolas' grimoire, he would normally be able to conjure up a disguise for the Imps, but he and Loona don't need it for themselves since they just remember how to do it. With that in mind, we can now gather. A disguise doesn't need any type of object we know about. With all the different types of demons we've seen using one, we can rule out that it relates to a particular species. It can't be straight up everyone who needs it automatically gets it. Otherwise, the Imps would all have it. At the very least, because all Imps can access the human world on Halloween. And Stolas' ability to create a disguise has something to do with his grimoire, a book of spells. It is literally just a spell that everyone is able to learn if they are willing to spend their time to do so. This also explains why Stolas has a disguise, but his daughter doesn't. It isn't genetic, it is just knowledge. Sakyu and Incubi need to access the human world, so does Tex, since he is the bodyguard of one. Barbie Wire smuggles drugs for humans and uses this form to manipulate teenage boys, a sentence that is very weird to read out loud. So unlike other Imps, she needs to come to Earth regularly. They all have a reason to learn this. We still haven't answered two of the most important questions though. Why does Loona have a disguise and why don't the Imps have one? If we assume that a human disguise is based on a spell that anyone can learn, we can answer why Loona has one very easily. She thought she needed it. Let's take another look at the clip we've already seen and extend it a bit.
I can blend in.
Do you have a human disguise?
Yeah, don't you? You three have been screwing around on Earth this whole fucking time without human disguises?
Loona was shocked that the imps aren't using disguises. She assumed that they were able to create them in order to hide their true forms while on Earth. Since she wanted to join them on a job in the human world, she thought she needed one too, so she simply learned it. How did she do that? Remember that Loona is the one who kept Stolas' grimoire safe while the others were on missions. Stolas said with his grimoire he would have been able to create a disguise for the imps. It holds the spell for a human disguise. This does not rule out that there may be other ways to acquire one too. The grimoire has a spell to enter the human world, while Asmodean crystals have the same function. I would talk about how Loona and Stolas transforming looks very different to Barbie Wire doing it, but to be fair, Loona transforming doesn't even look the same as Loona transforming, and the rules for spells are just as inconsistent. When opening a portal to the human world with the grimoire itself is needed. Otherwise, Blitz could have just taken a picture of the page the spell is on. For other spells, including disguises, Stolas doesn't need the book. And yes, this does include him creating a disguise for the imps. He just doesn't remember how to do it. And lastly, why don't the imps have one? Well, there are two ways to answer this, one being the more likely reason. Vivzipop probably wants the show to be recognizable. When seeing a random clip of an episode, everyone should immediately know which characters are on screen without confusing anyone. Additionally, having demons in the human world simply looks more interesting and special. There is an in-universe way to explain it too though. The imps are just careless. Remember that in the first 3 episodes, they don't even hide their horns. From then on out, they do wear costumes. Until Sinsmith comes around, when they once again stop giving a damn and wear their normal outfits, including Loona walking her furry form. As unsatisfying as this answer is, I firmly believe it is the truth. While Loona looking like a hellhound would be hard to explain away for a person seeing her. Think of all of the times the imps are spending time with humans. In Seeing Stars, Blitz is on stage. No one cares. In Unhappy Campers, Millard is on stage and in the news. No one cares. I guess a girl makes a mean comment about Moxine's skin? That's it. That's all that ever happens. And before you angrily comment about Truth Seekers, they aren't wearing any costumes. Yes, the show treats it like it wouldn't be the bright red skin that would give the imps' hidden identity away. It would be their outfits. Even when someone mistook Moxie for a possum, she was wearing his normal suit. I'd love to give you a less stupid explanation, but I just don't think there is one. The imps are like Roger from American Dad. That sure looks like a human. Early on, the show mostly consisted of episodic, turn-off-your-brain kind of fun. And when they changed to be more serious, well, by then they'd already established that no one really cares about how the imps look, so acting like they need a human disguise now would be really weird. So what we get is this.
And now, a cow pretending to be a man. Alan, are you a cow? What? No. Yeah, me neither. You guys want to go skateboards? The orphans, they're all dead. What kind of man would do this? Skateboards.
Even if this makes you think, this can't be it. The way of acquiring a disguise must be different and the imps just don't have the opportunity to get one. Barbie Wire managed to. Blitz is incredibly close with a Prince of Hell. He never got one. Stolas never gave him one, but he says he could, with a spell. And it seems like Loona learned to conjure one with the grimoire for herself. It isn't normal for hellhounds to just have a disguise. Her revealing that she has one shocked the imps. No matter how you spin it, they would have been able to get a disguise. They just don't care. And Moxie likes to cross-dress. I hope you enjoyed this video despite the unsatisfying ending. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you have another theory or think I'm missing something, comment down below.